Okay guys, we're doing a reading for Scorpio. This is going to be a reading from the 15th to the end of the month, so this last half of March. Keep in mind a general reading like this is never going to be 100% accurate to you, so always make sure that you're looking at your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising, maybe even your Venus. Sometimes those will be a little bit more accurate. With that said, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is look at the energy that's surrounding you for the end of this month. We've got the Two of Swords. So there's a notion here of something new, having to integrate new information into your existing paradigm or philosophy or pattern of thinking, however you want to think about it. Something new has to be introduced for there to be growth. And obviously that tends to complicate things, which is why people call this the decision card. Things were so simple before, and now you've got to kind of decide between two ways of doing things or two ways of looking at something. All right, now let's look at the energy that is crossing Scorpio at the end of this month. So what is crossing Scorpio's path? We've got more swords, and it's the King of Swords this time. There's going to be a lot of focus towards the end of this month about thinking through things logically. I'm a Scorpio rising, and I know how sometimes for Scorpios there can be a lot of leaning on intuition. Don't let your natural tendency to jump to conclusions or to assume the worst affect your decision-making process. This time you've got to be really, really clear-headed. Just the facts. And the King is also pretty brutal. Again, he doesn't really take emotion into account. He just does what's logical and reasonable. And if that hurts somebody's feelings or it leads to a little bit of short-term suffering for yourself, it's like, oh well, we've got to do this. We have to do this way. We're going to look a little bit at the road behind and the road ahead. The road behind, we've got Cups. And the Seven of Cups tells me perhaps that you had some illusions that were being dispelled or are now in the process of being dispelled. There's the old saying, not all that glitters is gold. And this is kind of the feeling here. So if you've got that in your past, it may be that you are allowing yourself to be captivated by something. And there are any number of examples for this, right? This happens in relationships all the time, where you meet somebody and they seem to be pretty cool, and then you just assume the best only to find out later that maybe they weren't all that they seem to be. Same thing in your career. Maybe there's a job that just from the outside looks really good and you really want it. And so you ignore all the warning signs, all the red flags as you strive to get that job. And then when you land it, you realize this is not what I want. And this is not what it seemed to be. This actually is terrible. I hate this place. Those are just two examples in love and career, but this could be anything. Don't let yourself fall prey to illusions. Let's look at the road ahead. Got the Temperance card. Temperance is associated with Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign that follows Scorpio. I know you Scorpios are very deep. You have a lot of emotions. You have intense understanding about things and about people. And Sagittarius kind of represents that part of your psyche that can take all of that stuff, which can be kind of nebulous, and turn it into something bigger, build it into some sort of system of understanding. So it takes the Scorpio waters and it turns it into structures that you can inhabit. And that is very interesting given that in the past we have the Seven of Cups. Cups are water. Cups are emotions. And here the emotions are kind of tumultuous. They're all over the place. Things seem one way and then another way, and it's unclear to know what's real, what's fact, what's fiction. And so here I see you standing between the waters of confusion and the waters of transcendence. So I'm talking in metaphorical terms here, but the idea is you're building something that you intuitively understand needs to be built, or you're going in a direction that you intuitively understand you need to go in. So think of this in your life. What's maybe been something that's on your mind or in your heart or weighing on your soul that has you a little bit obsessed? You are going to be in the process of cutting through all the nonsense, whether that's you cultivating a greater spiritual life, like going back to church or starting meditating, or whether it's cultivating your intellectual side, going back to school. So that would be an inner direction. The outward expression of this could be some person might be lying to you. You might be putting up with somebody's nonsense, which is to say, do you need to cut this person out of your life, or do you need to sit down and have a talk with this person? Cut through the BS. You've got to make a decision. So these are all just examples. Again, the idea is there's something that is perplexing, compelling, illusory. Maybe it's got you feeling confused, and you're being asked to use your mind and just be more critical. I want to point out really quickly that the King can also represent somebody that's coming towards you. So it could be that you are confused, and then somebody comes in and helps you through this process. Or somebody comes in and tells you you're the one that's got too much nonsense going on in your life. Maybe somebody sits you down for a talk. But again, either way, at the end of this, you've got the Temperance card. Something better than what you've had is coming, but it's going to require a little bit of work. So with that, let's get an outcome for Scorpio. You've got the Page of Pentacles. So you will be in a new place by the end of this month. I'm seeing most of this change occurring in the mental and emotional domain, but Temperance, being that major arcana big energy, has the potential to change your material circumstances. And here you are with something new in your hands. Pages are young, right? So there's this idea of being an amateur, a novice, a beginner. Schooling is going to be important for a lot of you. Temperance being associated with Sagittarius, that's university. A lot of you are going to be undergoing a process in the university setting or in something similar. Some sort of training period is being emphasized here. And the Page of Pentacles is you. You're the student. You're the beginner. You're the novice. You're the freshman. And you've got something new to work with. You've got something practical that you have occupying your time. And this is going to be metaphorically true even for those of you who are not in school. This is a training period of some sort. Think of yourself as the student in whatever it is that you're going to be facing here in the future. All right, with that said, let us get an advice card for Scorpio. What's a message they need to hear? What's something they might need to know as they move forward? Okay, the Queen of Pentacles. I'm hearing guard your space. This is not a card about being suspicious or paranoid of other people, but it's about kind of guarding your peace. It could even be that these cups in your past represent several relationships. It could represent family or friends, and maybe they're just kind of taking too much of your time or distracting you, or maybe they're toxic and not good for you. Again, take this as it resonates, right? The idea here is that there's something in your past that you need to identify as being potentially distracting or toxic, illusory. As you move forward, you are being elevated into some new place, but that's going to require for you to take this approach like, let's try to just be humble as we move forward and try to learn as much as we can, but definitely guard your space, guard your peace. There's material things that you need to get in order. Do you need to make more money? Are you going to need to focus on your schoolwork? All of these examples, by the way, are just big common examples, but try to find this pattern as you move forward and keep in mind you are this page, you are this student. Allow yourself to be elevated, allow change to happen where it needs to happen. This is definitely a Scorpio energy with this idea of being reborn or dying to your old self and allowing a new type of substance in you to take hold, to take root, to change, to transform, to transmute, to transcend. But this is actually a lot cleaner than most Scorpio experiences. Most Scorpio experiences, people associate them with like death or the tower, these big shocking transformations. This is smoother. This is something that I see happening over the course of a while. So you'll see a lot of change, a lot of confusion, a demand probably for quick thinking, quick action, but following that, it's going to be this slow, casual process. It's going to be calmer. It's not going to be disruptive. It's not going to be the tower moment. It's going to be this period of allowing change to occur. Take it day by day. Pentacles are earth, right? Earth is great for Scorpio. Earth is great for water signs. Earth is something that can hold water, where you don't feel like it's constant upheavals. You feel a little bit stable here. All right, Scorpio, that is all I have for you today. This was just a quick reading for the end of the month. I hope you got something out of it. But if you enjoyed this one, please hit that like. That tells the algorithm to push it to more people. They might need to hear this message, so let's try to pass those good vibes along to other people. And with that said, I've got to go. It's almost time for work. Thank you very much for hanging with me, Scorpio. I will catch you guys later.